Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Pep's Corner. Today, we will continue our book, Animal Cells. We will read from pages 24 through 27. Our focus and purpose for reading today is posted on your screen. And so, make sure, boys and girls, you have your book in hand and are actively following along and reading. Remember, boys and girls, to reread a second time so you are coming to shared reading fully prepared to engage in instruction. Let's begin. Can an animal really have only one cell? Some organisms have only one cell. Single-celled organisms, also called unicellular organisms, are not that different from an elephant. They carry on the same life processes that elephants do. They need food and energy. They reproduce so that their species will continue. A single-celled organism contains water. It takes in oxygen and rids the body of waste. Elephants function in the same way. Many single-celled organisms can be seen only through a microscope. These include amoebas, eloginas, and paramecia. Amoebas are found in ponds and rivers and on the surface of leaves in standing water. They may also live in tropical seas, moist soils, and in larger animals. Amoebas can vary in size, but many measure about 500 to 1,000 microns across. 1 micron is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. Amoebas are jelly-like and filled with cytoplasm. The word amoeba means change, and that is just what they do. They change shape to move. To eat, they change shape and surround the food. They eat bacteria, single-celled organisms, algae, plant-like organisms that live in water, and animal and plant cells. Amoebas reproduce by splitting in half, a process called fission. When an amoeba produces a new amoeba, the nucleus and the cell itself divide in two. The new amoeba is an exact copy of the original one. I'm going to have you boys and girls read and gain some new knowledge with the blue diagram on page 25 that says what is in the water. And you'll learn about all kinds of sea creatures and pond creatures that live in the water that are considered single-cell organisms. Page 26, eloginas. Eloginas are plant-like and animals combined. Like a plant, they have a chemical compound, substance made up of 2 or more elements, called chlorophyll. When in sunlight, eloginas, like green plants, use chlorophyll to make energy. In the darkness, eloginas get their own food and energy by eating small plants and animals, as animals do. Eloginas have small whipping tails that allow them to move in water. Eloginas are even smaller than amoebas. They measure 25 to 100 microns. They have tiny red eye spots in their cells. These spots react to light. They help eloginas move toward sunlight when they are in a green, scummy pond. Paramecia. Paramecia live in ponds with green algae because that is their main food source. They are slippery shaped animals with tiny hairs all around their cell membrane. The hairs, called cilia, allow them to move, much like centipedes. With their many legs, paramecia reproduce through fission, just like amoebas. Paramecium has 2 nuclei, one large one and one small. When it reproduces, the smaller nucleus splits in half. One half travels to the far end of the paramecium, then the larger nucleus splits, and half moves to join the first, smaller split nucleus. The new large and small nuclei remain together as the cell splits and a new paramecium is formed.